Hello everyone. I'm putting together this video so that you can learn how to use the track changes function in Word. I think the track changes function is very useful when you are revising an essay. It helps you keep track of everything that you work on. The advantages, I think, is that you never lose anything that you write. You can make notes for yourself to come back later. Two, you can collaborate with other people and see who has done what in the same document. And overall, I think it is a great antidote for, when you're working on your essay and you've been revising and you're in front of your computer for 4 hours and then you've done everything and everything. Checked your social media, gone down a Wikipedia page rabbit hole, done all the things as you've been working on your revision, and then you think, you know what, I have revised the hell out of this, I'm just going to resubmit it. And if you were using track changes, you would maybe see that you've only changed 4 words. And that's not really the kind of revision that usually is called for. So the track changes function is very useful. And you see that I have a Mac computer, so Word looks a little bit different than if you're using a PC. However, I think the same commands exist in both, and you just need to figure out where that happens in a PC. So the first thing we need to do to use track changes is to go to the Review tab. Do you see the Review tab here? Click on it, and you have a Track Changes button. In Mac, you click it, and then it's blue as though it's green, and it's on. It says that it's on. If it's a PC, it's more of like a square tap, and you click it, and if the button is depressed, so pushed in, it means that it's on. From this moment on, everything that you do to your document is going to be recorded. So let's imagine that this is an essay that you're writing. And we'll start by changing this title that does not apply to us at all, and writing your information that should always go on the first page on the top left corner. So I'm gonna call myself Jane Doe for English 257 or whatever course you're in. Argument essay, and the date. What is the date today? October 26th. October 26th, 2019. This is the information that you should have always for every assignment on the top left corner. Also, you should have it double spaced. So let's double space it. Boom, done. So you see how when I'm typing in new things, it shows up in a different color, in blue in this case. And what I have deleted shows up in a bubble here to the right, which means that I can always recover what I have deleted. If you are on a PC, the things that you delete may appear as a strike through instead of being taken out of the text, so it's a tad more messy. Let's see what other things track changes can do for us. So I have here a practice sheet that I've used in class before, so that we could all kind of play along. So play along with me as I do this. So we've clicked on the review menu, we've engaged track changes, we're in business. So what if I erase all of these S's that are extra here? Now I have a proper this, and I have all the S's here to the side. Just plain erasing. If I erase, then it also shows here to the side. or is stricken through if you're in a PC. If you add something here, then you see how whatever I type new shows up in a different color. When you highlight something, let's highlight here in yellow, it shows me the formatting that this has been highlighted. Up here, I thought it would show as well that this was double spaced, but maybe not. Now, comments, inserting comments. So we'll go back to the review tab. This is where you find the track changes, and see that you have like this posted bubble here, like a new comment, insert a new comment. Click on it, and this allows you to type some ideas. It's like, okay, I have time Let's imagine that I am revising my essay and I have this great idea of what I need to do, but I'm pressed for time, I'm late for another class, so I'm not going to do it right now. You can always write a comment here for yourself that records that good idea, because if you're anything like me, that good idea, chances are it's going to disappear by the next time you come back to the document. So this is a good way of keeping track of the things that you want to do as you have the ideas about what you want to do. So that time when you go back, you're ready to go. This is also, this bubble comments is what I use to give feedback. You'll see when I give you feedback on your essays. What else? So yes, sometimes if you're using track changes, this might feel like a lot on your screen and you might feel overwhelmed, especially, or maybe if you're in a PC and there's a lot of stricken through stuff. So you see these lines to the left of the text. If you click on them, the bubbles, except for your comments, disappear. As long as the track changes button is engaged, it still records everything that you do. And if you click it back on, you can see everything in the bubbles again. There's also another way of deciding what is it that you want to see or not see. If you go here to markup options, you can be like, okay, I want to see insertions and deletions, but I do not want to see the formatting. So you click it out, and now you see that the highlight bubble has disappeared. Or I don't want to see comments. The comments will disappear. Or I don't want to see insertions and deletions. Then it's not going to show you. It's still going to be recording every change that you make. And you can always click it back on. And then boop, it plops back up. What else? I think using these left side lines is very handy and takes care of it very quickly. Also, you can, if at some point you're like, well, I really want to see a clean document because this is getting on my last nerve and I want to see what it looks like polished and finished, you can go here to all markup and say that you want to see no markup. And you click it and boom, here you have your essay with none of the markings in it. Okay, all markup. Another thing that you can do is to change your preferences as to how do you see the things that you see in the track changes. So if you go to preferences, you can decide the insertions, right? The new stuff that you put in. I have it in color only and my color is blue. You can choose whatever other color you wanna see it as. Deletions, I have strike through, but for Max, they just put it to the side and it's in turquoise, so this is the color of the bubble. For formatting, I have that it's color only and it's pink. For the comments, I have that it's a teal bubble. So you could also say that you want to underline the new insertions, right? The new stuff. I find that more cluttering than just the color only. So, whoops, I like the color only. But you can play around with this and see, what your possibilities are and what works for you best. What else? Let's keep going. Okay, so you know how in MLA style we need to put our last name and page number on the top right corner of the page inside the header. And many of you, I think, don't know how to do this. So let me show you real quick how to do it. So there's different ways of getting to the header. I think the easiest way is to go, and I would recommend that you go on page 2 or page 3, not on page 1, and I'll show you why in a minute. So you can double click up top, right here where the header is. You can double click and it opens up. Or you can go to in view, is it view? No, edit. Format. Where is it? I always go through the shortcut. So let me just go slowly through this and then you can all figure it out with me. Oh, the view, header and footer. Here in view, that's where it hides. Header and footer. And it opens up. So what you want to do is to click on page number, right? Choose page number. Say that you want it aligned to the right of the top of the document and say okay. And now it shows you the page. Then to put your last name with it, go to the Home tab, align the writing to the left, and say, this is my last name. Now, if you scroll up without closing the header and footer, you'll see that the first page, wait. The first page might also show your last name and page number. And if it does so, that seems rather redundant because the first page has your information on the top left corner, has the title. It's obviously the first page. So in order to make that the header does not show on the first page, you click here on different first page. You see this fella right here? If you click it, then now you have it starting on the second page, but you don't have it on the first. So this is very simple once you know where it is, but until you find this little baby to click, it's not so simple. Okay, so once you're done putting your last name and the page number, just close the header and this is done. Putting it in the header is important because otherwise many of you sometimes try to just write it up on the top of the page, which might work until you make some changes in the document and you add some stuff and now the beginning of the page is in a different spot and you end up with your name and page number in the middle of the page. That's kind of annoying. So use the header. It's the best thing to do. Another nifty thing that Word can do for you. You know how in your works cited you need to have your bibliographical references in alphabetic order. And you're like, ooh, do I know my ABCs? I I know that you do, but since we want to work smarter, not harder, this is a nifty trick that you can do in Word. You select all your references as you've written them, and you find this AZ button. Do you see it up here? Click on the AZ button, sort by paragraphs, text, ascending, yes siree, click OK, and it alphabetized for you. So you don't have to um, fight with the bibliographical references. Okay. Also, you know how here I have these hanging, it's called a hanging indentation. That's what we do with bibliographical references. So many of you just start clicking the spacebar here to get it to this place. That is not very efficient. So, okay, let's see. Let's select all of the references again. And in order to do the hanging indentation, we go to Format, we go to Paragraph, we say Indentation Special, and it says none because we didn't have any, and we say hanging here, hanging indentation by 0.5 inches, so half an inch. What else? Everything else looks good. You say okay, and ta-da! Here's your hanging indentation for the works cited list. And you see, as we get to a new page, the header continues to paginate and keep your last name there. So I think this is pretty much everything there is to know about track changes. You see that it shows your name, like who is using it. So if you're using somebody else's computer, it will show another name. That's quite all right. But if you were working with, let's say, a group of 3 and you're all collaborating on a document, you can send the document back and forth and you would see who's made what changes when. So that I find it's very useful for collaboration. And I want you to use track changes to revise your essay. Anytime you do a revision, I want you to use track changes. And I want you to submit the very messy version, the track changes version, to my classes. If I don't want to see the track changes, I will just tell it, to show me no markup, and I will see no markup. So don't worry about it, but I would like to see the very messy version. I think it's going to be useful for you guys to help you see what revision can be, rather than just changing some words and not knowing what you've changed, or not remembering, or deleting a paragraph and then thinking, wow, that paragraph was really useful. I could have used it down here, and now you don't have it. So use track changes. Also, what happens when you start revising and an hour in you're like, damn, I didn't do the track changes? There's another nifty tool in Word that can help you when that happens. So if you go to Tools and you go to Track Changes, and there's these Compare Documents. You see this button here? When you click it, you have the chance of opening up the original document, right? I'm not going to do it now, but you would click the original document here, the revised document here, and the original document, you can always find it on my classes. That's the one you turned in. The revised document, just save it with a different name. And you would choose the revised document here, you would click OK, and it would create a document with the track changes. Nice, huh? Okay, so I think this is it. Let me know if you have any questions about this, and I'm happy to assist you and help you figure out how to use it. All right, See you soon.